Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. We'll be learning how to make these beautiful rose sleeves that you can see on the table. It's actually very simple and easy to make. Stay tuned as we start the tutorial on how to make it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So you'll be needing your basic sleeves measurements for it, and the basic sleeves involves your armhole, your round sleeves measurement, and then your cuff measurement, all the essential measurements needed for you to get your basic sleeves, your long basic sleeves is what you need. Then I'm having my long pattern paper here, which you'll be folding in twos like a triangular form, as you can see me do in the video. I'm folding it like a triangular form, the way you fold your cone flare or your triangle flare, as the case may be. You make sure those 2 points, you make sure it's from the two points there, you make sure it's sharp, and you fold it this way. This is just what you would need with your extra spare paper. So you make sure you get this. Once you've gotten this, you will be placing your basic sleeves on it. Can you see? So I've gotten my triangular form, the sharp edge, everything is intact. So I'll be putting my sleeves on it. This is 10 inches. That's if you can use 10 inches if you don't want your rose to be so full, but if you want it full, you can go higher. Some can use 13, you can use 14, you can use 15, you could even use 17. But the most important thing is you fold it properly. That is your paper. You make sure you get these foldings properly, and then you place your sleeves on top the way you see me do now. So I'm going to secure with my masking tape, because this is what I plan using. Mine is 15 inches difference. I use 15 inches difference. Then I'm going to go ahead to cut off, because I don't need those parts. This is the parts that I am needing. So this is how it should be after you cut it off. This is how your paper should be. Then once you've gotten that part, you fold your fabric in twos. You fold your fabric into two, so you can achieve that triangular form, and so you can also achieve your straight sleeves as well. So it can give you the shape that your paper is having. And I'm done doing that here. Can you see the way I placed it? I made sure the folded parts of that triangular paper, it's on the right side. That is, I'm not going to be joining at that side. So while folding, it's very technical, but make sure you fold it this way. Once you've done that folding, I went ahead to rule that part of my sleeves, because that's my allowance. I don't need to add extra allowance while cutting. Then this is how your paper should be. This is how your fabric should be. It's just that simple and easy. So since I've gone ahead to secure my paper on my fabric, the next thing for me to do is to cut it off. Because I have secured it properly the way I want it to be. So I'm going ahead to cut off now. So it's a lycra fabric. I use the lycra fabric for these sleeves, but you could use crepe, you could use doll face, you could use ashoke, you can use anything. And if you want it to be solid, if you want the rose to be solid enough, you can go ahead to interface with Estee. Estee will give you that it will make it more solid while doing your rose. So this is what you're going to go ahead to do, and you can see where my hand is now. That's where I'll be sewing. I'll be sewing that place down half an inch. I'll be securing it down by sewing from that sharp point. Let me place it again for us all to understand. From that sharp point, can you see? That's where I'll be sewing. Then The next thing is your lining. I'll be needing my lining. You will line it, but it's your basic sleeves that you'll be using to line. So since I've gotten what I need, I'm just going to remove that triangular form. I'm just removing the triangular form. So I'll be placing my basic sleeves on my doll face for me to get the needed lining. Like I said initially, it's a lycra fabric I used, but using a non-stretchy material, it's preferable. And if you must use a lycra fabric, I'll suggest you stay it. So I'm be cutting my lining now. My lining doesn't have to be so long. It can be short like you see me do. The aim is just for it to give the sleeves volume. The aim is to give the sleeves volume. And it will also help the rose stay intact while making it. And as you keep on watching, you will understand more what I mean as to why to make the sleeve stay intact. So this is my lining now, doll face that I used. Then, like I said, I was going to go and sew the sharp points of the sleeves. So I've done that. I'm still trying to remove my paper because my machine doesn't sew lycra except I use paper with it. So I'll notch this part that you see me notching now. You go ahead and notch yours as well. Then you notch this other part. So once you've done that, is how you're going to place your lining. That is important, that you take note of rather. So I'm turning it out so that I can have an avenue to place my lining. So you turn out first. Can you see? Then now you'll be securing with your pin. So this is how you'll be sewing your lining. So this is it. So I'll go ahead to secure my lining and my sleeves now. It's just these parts you'll be needing. This joining at the sides and then the armhole part. That's just all that you'll be needing. So now I've secured my lining to my sleeves. I've secured my lining to my sleeves. Once that is done, you start giving that triangular form. You start getting your rose shape, the shape of or the form of the rose you want, as you can see me do in the video. Because definitely after getting that triangular form, the rose will not form itself. So you'll be the one to fold it back to the lining, to the sleeves. This is why I said you would be needing a lining. So you would go ahead to arrange your rose to the form you want. You would arrange your rose to the form you want. So this is another reason why I said I'll prefer you use a non-stretchy material, because this lycra I used is kind of dangling. I wanted to do it for tutorial purpose, and I was also thinking of using this to make a dress. That was why I used lining. But it's lycra, but it's dangling. So I prefer you use a material that doesn't stretch. And like I said, if you must use lycra, infuse it with stay. So I've formed the rose, the preferred rose I would want. You start stacking from the middle. That means you will need thread and needle. You start tacking from the middle to secure the center together. You'll be securing the center together. And you see, Then after doing that, you're going to go ahead to tack other parts, but make sure you secure that center firmly. So while securing, you can play around with your sleeves by putting beads, of course, if you would wish to. But if not, you make sure you secure that part. After securing it, you tack all through. You tack the other forms, the other roses, the sides of the rose. You keep tacking to the lining. So this is why you really need the lining. So you could tack on the lining or with the lining. Can you see? So this is what you have to do. You tack all through. The reason for tacking is for the rose to stay intact. For the rose to stay intact. So it's just for you to tack, and that is all that you do. Once you are done tacking, you shape your sleeves the normal measurements that you would be using, and that is actually all that you'll be doing to get these rose sleeves. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned in my next video, and like I said, don't forget to like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done that. So I'm still tacking because I do not want any. I want to make sure my cloth is firm, my fabric, my sleeve is going to be firm while putting it on. So that is just all that you would be needing. Tack and tack and tack firmly. That's all. Thank you once again for watching. See you in my next video tutorial. Bye.